What is up, y'all? It's another day. I hope everybody is feeling all right. I'm pretty stoked about this one today. Maybe not the most popular thoughts, but sometimes none of them are. I feel like I said that last time, but I guess I wouldn't say popular. It's not the kind of video that might make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Probably not one of those videos, but it's extremely important. It is a life or death situation. So let's get to it. What is the fatal mistake that new believers make? And I think and I myself included, okay? We'll have a little story time, maybe. But it is saying a prayer to believe in Jesus so you can have a good life and not go to hell. So if you just came into the faith and you said that prayer, and the motivation behind saying that prayer, I mean, I think it's good, right? None of us should want to perish in hell. But if it was really, the motivation behind it was because I don't want to go to hell and I want to have a good life, and I know God is the maker of the universe, so if I follow him, I'll have a good life, and also I won't go to hell, so that's great. I think that is the fatal mistake that most new believers make. There's also a thought by some people that they can get baptized and they will be saved by being baptized, but baptism is for the already saved, and if a sinner goes and gets baptized with no belief or love for Jesus in their heart, then they are just somebody who got wet that day, right? And it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It's not a magic wand that will suddenly change you. So let's get that out of the way. But there's one thing that you really need to understand. If you say that prayer so you can have a good life and not go to hell, this makes you lukewarm from the very beginning of your faith. So what does Jesus say about those who are lukewarm? We'll go to Revelation, one of the most important books of the Bible, very relevant to us, very relevant times. It's talking about the end of the age, the end of the world, okay, and all the things to take place and all that. And they talk about that all throughout the New Testament, mind you. It's actually, I heard every 1 in 30 verses in the New Testament talks about the second coming of Jesus and the end of the age. So it's important. It's pretty important. But what Jesus says about those who are lukewarm, because I'm sure you've heard the term on fire for Jesus. If you just said this prayer so you can have a good life and not go to hell, you're not on fire for Jesus. You don't understand the message. So I would urge you to understand the message so that you can actually be saved. Okay? But what does he say? What does he say about those who are lukewarm? I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish you were cold or hot. So basically he's saying, I wish you were one or the other. I wish you were not lukewarm. That's probably the saddest thing. Because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. And that's one of the more original translations used, was vomit. Now if you look in the newer versions, they'll say, I will spit you out of my mouth. And this is Jesus talking. Okay, Jesus is love, Jesus is good, but Jesus is also just, and Jesus ain't gonna be made no fool out of, okay? We should get that straight. Yeah, he will vomit you out of his mouth. That doesn't sound like somebody who is going to be sitting in the kingdom with Jesus. Does it to you? It does not, because you think about if you want to vomit something, or if you're going to vomit, I like that original better, because to vomit something, it has to be inside of you to begin with, right? And to spit something out, it could just be in your mouth. But to vomit something out, it had to be there to begin with, aka the Christian who isn't actually saved. And so it's important. It is vitally important that you understand that your life is not going to get good because you believe in Jesus. That was not your ticket to a good and easy life. Jesus said whenever he came, I did not come to bring peace. I came to bring, don't quote me on this, okay? I came to set households against each other. And what he meant by that was that people are going to hate you because of me. Yes, all right, so sorry. I was looking up the exact verse. He says, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." This refers to the divisive, transformative nature of his message, which forces a choice between following him or conforming to the world, and which often creates conflict between families. It is entirely true. It is entirely true. No, and that does not mean, that is not on the flip end. Okay, so if you're somebody who has some church hurt, or you've known people who were Christian in their life and they cast you out for not being a Christian, that is not what that is talking about. That is talking about, those are not real Christians. This is talking about people hating you because you love Jesus, not Christians hating you because you don't love Jesus. That is not what that means. Just so we can get that clear. Yeah, you can expect to be persecuted if you are following Jesus. You can expect people not to like you. You can expect the devil to attack you. And that is why this is vitally important that you don't just say the prayer because you don't want to go to hell and you want to live a good life, because the devil sees that. That's why it's so important to go full send on Jesus. I've had this in my head for a while. If you're somebody who doesn't have driving anxiety, then maybe this doesn't hit you. But I wouldn't say that I have it anymore, but I used to, it took me a long time to actually start driving a vehicle. I had such extreme anxiety about it. Like, I would have to go drive 5 minutes, and I was like, I gotta like hype myself up for this because I am so scared. I have so much anxiety. Okay, and so I don't have that problem anymore now. Praise God. I'm good. I can drive wherever I want, in any place, and I'm not worried about it. But, so I still feel this way. I don't know if everybody feels this way, but you know whenever you're making a left turn, and you have like a flashing yield sign. So it's like you can go as long as the way is clear. And lots of times people will pull out into the center of the intersection so that they're that much closer whenever they get a chance to go turn in. So I liken it to, you gotta be willing to make that full turn, because if you don't, you just might end up getting smacked if you're too scared, because the devil is looking for people whose faith is not real. The devil loves people who call themselves the Christians, but they don't actually have the love for Jesus in their heart. He loves that. He loves that. So I liken it to, you're turning, you need to go full send. You need to fully go, because once that light turns yellow, not a blinking yellow, it's about to turn red, and you lose your chance to make that turn. You also can't back up. You also can't go back most of the time if somebody's behind you. You gotta full send. You gotta full send or get screwed, basically, because the devil is looking for these holes in your life. So you are better off. That's also why I think Jesus would say it would be better if you were neither hot nor cold. Maybe in that sense, it would be better that you were neither, because now that you want to have a little bit of faith, you want to have a tiny bit of faith, just enough to make you feel good. The devil loves that. He is after you. He is after you. He's going to use anything that he can to destroy your life and take that little bit of faith that you had, that could possibly be built into something incredible, and he's going to steal it from you. He's going to give you hard times. He's going to give you all the bad things, okay? Because this is a spiritual world that we are living in, and this is important. So Jesus is often referring to the collective body of believers as his bride. We look at this bride and groom relationship in our societies. It's special, right? It's when you're getting married to your bride, you love them. You love them so much. You should, anyways, right? He's speaking to a true marriage situation here. And if you are somebody, you're waiting to get married, right? The wedding ceremony is whenever Jesus comes back. And this is talked about in the Bible all the time. He's constantly referring to us as the brides and the wedding ceremony when he returns. If you are the wife or the husband, or the soon-to-be wife or husband, I should say, of somebody, and you never spend any time with them, you may remember to think of them whenever you lay your head to rest at night. You might remember them. Is that person going to get married to you? Do you think they're going to get married to you? If you're constantly just, I don't really care, you're never spending time with them. You spend time with them when it's convenient for you. Because Jesus is not asking you to do a bunch of things. He's asking for your time. He's asking for your relationship. And if you cannot give that to them, give that to him, he just might vomit you out of his mouth. And that is not a good feeling to have, because you know what? That was me. And praise God that something did not happen to me, because we are living on borrowed time every single day. Thank God nothing happened to me whenever I was in that state where I said the prayer because I wanted a good life and I didn't want to go to hell. Thank God that I didn't get in a car accident. Thank God that didn't happen, because you know where I would be right now? I would be burning in hell. And it doesn't matter how good I was. It doesn't matter how many people loved me. That's the harsh reality of the situation. Or how many people thought I was good. I'm a sinner. I'm broken as hell. I'm not fit for the kingdom unless I have Jesus in my heart. Jesus fighting for me and saying, hey, this is one that I love. This is one that I have a relationship with. And I paid their debts. Even though she's a sinner and she is broken, I paid that. So she's allowed in here. He wouldn't have said that about me previously. So I just hope that you take that and you take that seriously. But much love for y'all. Have a good night.